Okay, hello everyone, it's Tim here, your host of the Amateur Rugby Podcast. I'm doing another one of the series of Facebook Lives here to talk about everything that goes into creating a podcast, and there's a lot of stuff that goes in around it. This is going to be episode 5, which is going to be all about the hosting and the distribution of the podcast. Previous episodes have included how we named the podcast, how we chose the audio recording equipment, how we chose the podcast editing software, and how we went about creating the graphics and the artwork for all the social media posts and the podcast directory itself. So you do need a podcast host, or it's certainly recommended. You could try and technically do it all yourself, but it will probably end up being more expensive, way more time consuming. So you need a podcast host to hold all your files, all the audio files that you send out. And then what they do is they create an RSS feed, which is just, it sounds technical, but it's just a way for other people to understand what you've got out there in terms of what shows you have and all the information that goes along with it. So having decided that I need a podcast host, then it was a choice of whether I go for a paid host or a free one. Now, the free ones obviously sound great, but they tend to make their money by throwing in lots of advertising, which could be completely irrelevant to my audience. So I decided to go with a paid option, and I chose Libsyn. They seem to have been around a very long time and seem like a very stable host, and not that expensive. So that's what I've gone with, and it seems to be a good choice at the moment. I'll keep you posted with that if I come up with any hiccups or any problems, but they're going to be there to make sure that the podcast appears in everywhere where people get podcasts. There's all kinds of different directories and apps and things like that, and that will just be taken care of. I just upload one file to them along with all the artwork and show notes and things like that, and then they make sure that everybody can see it in their podcast feed. So that's something that I don't need to worry about. Okay, so the podcasts have been coming along nicely this week. I've interviewed Ben Ward from Ealing Trailfinders on Monday. Just had Roddy Turner in this afternoon. We had a good old fun chat about some of the old days and stories from the past. And I've got Andy Muldoon coming in tonight as well. So it's a busy old time. These are all going to be going live starting in September and then releasing one episode a week, certainly all the way up until Christmas. So if you want to stay in touch and follow and keep all up to date with the latest news, and the best way is to go to amateurrugbypodcast.com, and there's a link there where you can put your email address in and sign up for updates and make sure you stay in touch. And also, it'd be great if you just mention it to somebody. Next time you're down in a local rugby club, pre-season's underway now, so get out there, watch some games, or play in it if you're still playing, and just make sure you mention it to somebody. And hopefully you'll enjoy the shows that I've got coming up. I've enjoyed making them, and I hope you'll enjoy them too. So, until the next video, get out and play. Cheers.